Hey guys, got a simple project today. Anybody who has a trailer of any sorts, whether boat trailer, flatbed trailer, anything else, etc. We're gonna do a wiring kit today. Just doing this as an example, kind of tutorial to show you how easy it is to run a brand new light kit, whether to an existing trailer, home built trailer, or anything that you need to run a trailer or lights to. Simple kit. They range from $20, I believe, at Harbor Freight for a cheapo kit, up to, I believe, closer to the $100 range if you get LED side markers, etc. They come in a variety of different ways. You can find them everywhere from Harbor Freight, like I said, Northern Tools where I picked mine up. Walmart sells them. I believe Kmart sells them. Just about everywhere sells a trailer wiring kit with the lights, bracketry, everything you're going to need to install it. Very simple instructions. It's very easy to route the wires. Nothing complex about this. So why don't we put you on the tripod and let's get started on this. Alright guys, this is what we're going to start with. This is Blazer trailer lighting kit. If you notice, went ahead and got the kit that comes with the side marker lights, but I'm not going to opt to use these. I just don't really like them. Well, Northern Tool actually had two of these. They had the submersible kit, which is supposed to be sealed better, but I've noticed that the only real difference is both of them actually had a hole where the wires went through. On the submersible, I think both of them are clear, where the one is black, one's clear here. So I mean, it wasn't really nothing major to this kit. I think really the deciding factor, since I didn't particularly need a submersible, is the side here. This one is a very small short side on this one, where the submersible was like about 1.5 inches wide. So I opted for this one. These will just go into the parts bin for later use. This one was $29.99. Walmart sells the same exact one for like $4 cheaper. Since I was there, I didn't care to drive an extra so many miles to go get save $4. I would have spent that in fuel. Pretty much, you see, this is just your basic stock kit. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and get this cracked open, see what's all involved in here, and how easy it is to install this. Alright, this is what our light kit, whole trailer lights come with. We got both tail lights. This one's always, the one with the clear normally is going to be on your driver's side. Hence, the side of it will light up as you're passing other people, and vice versa. You got the other side, this will be the passenger side, points outwards. 2 studs, so that way it'll go through the bracketry on your trailer, or you'll have to create some if you're having a home built one. Got a pretty long wire. This is the complete wire itself, and what we have here is actually, you got both pigtails. You got the one for the trailer itself, and you have the one for the vehicle itself. We're only going to need the one for the trailer, so we're not going to need the other side since my Jeep is already wired up. I'll have some spare parts there. You also get a new taillight bracket. I'm sorry, not taillight, license plate bracket. I kind of like the home built one that somebody's already left on this trailer, so I'm going to reuse theirs. You can't beat aluminum. It doesn't break as easily as these plastic ones do after they dry rot after the length of time. And you're going to have your sorted hardware, wire nuts, what do you call it, the split washers, the nuts with all the different clamps and whatnot. You got little clips that will actually keep your wire onto the trailer itself. So what we're going to do first is, if you have existing wiring, you're going to go ahead and cut that. I noticed one more piece on my trailer I didn't remove. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out the way. Go ahead and just split this open and reveal the 2 different wires, and we're going to see where the 2 different ones are at here. Let me go ahead, I'll do this off camera because it looks like I'm going to get 2 long pigtails out of this. Let me go ahead and separate all this, get everything set up, and I'll get the tripod ready, and we'll show you how this all runs through. Well, alright, very short pigtail for the vehicle part, figure that out real quick. So what I got here is, this is going to be the actual trailer wiring kit. And what you're going to have basically 3 sets of wires. You got the white wire, which is your ground. This actually grounds out to the trailer itself. You're going to have a brown and yellow wire, which always runs down the driver's side of the trailer, and a brown and solid green that will always run down the passenger side. What we're going to do, start out here on the very front, we're going to take and stretch out this entire wire. Now this sometimes can be a pain, so I don't know if I'm going to do this completely on camera. But what I'm going to do is actually come down the square tube, and actually I'm going to run this straight down And what this does is it allows it to stay out of the way. Yep, running into bolts already. They're running through this tongue. But what I'm going to do is go ahead, I'm going to feed this straight down and let it come out of the other end of this tube. So it makes it pretty easy to fish through and divide out on the trailer itself. So why don't I go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and do this, run it straight through, and I'll meet y'all at the other end of this tongue with the wire pulled through and stretched out. Well, alright guys, here's a little trick. What I did was to feed it straight down that tube. If you notice, I've just got a little piece of flat bar, and what I've done is just taped each individual wire. Just rip it off, and basically took this flat bar and slung it straight down the tunnel. Makes it so much easier, especially I found hornet's nests, all kind of other junk, dirt dobblers, and everything else hiding in there. So what we're going to do right now is you got both strands of wires, and as if I mentioned earlier, this right here is going to be on the driver's side. This color right here, which is going to be your brown and green and a solid green, that's going to run down your passenger side. Now if you notice, we got the wires coming out from right here. What we're going to do is go ahead, let's see, doing this one-handed, we're going to go ahead and grab this, and if you notice how that's going to be on that side of it, we're going to run it on the inside, and if you notice, there's going to be a little hole here. So basically what you're going to do is quite like so, and you'll be able to just pull it and keep running it straight down your trailer like this, all the way down to the very end where your lights are going to be mounted. Why don't we go ahead and do that? Let's go ahead and run them all, pre-wire this trailer, and we'll get it ready for the clips. And actually, let me see, there was one here, I must have took it out. There's basically, it holds the wire right there on the edge on the inside, and it kind of clips it in place. It shouldn't nick it or nothing like that. Let me go ahead and get both of these sides ran, and we'll go from there. Alright, now that the wiring has been ran all the way down through the channel, before I clip any wires or anything, what I'm going to do, if you notice, I only have stubbies of what used to be considered taillights at one point. What I'm going to do is go ahead, what I'm going to do is just go ahead using a 7/16 closed end or boxed end wrench. I'm using a closed end part. We're going to go ahead and remove this here, all these old rusted nuts. And like I said, these are actually partials of what the original taillights used to be. Looks like they were put through utter hell. Well, like I said, this trailer hadn't been in service for a while, so pretty well sure the sun and everything else has taken its toll on it. So this is the easy part. Now that we've undid this, the hardest part, it seems like, is going to be is to remove all this old rusted stuff. We got this homemade tag bracket, which I'm going to actually reuse. I think it's, nah, you know what, if I paid for something, I might as well get it on my whole use side of it. We'll go ahead and use this new bracketry. What I got to do now is just remove this for the video. Now what we got is, like I've said, the driver's side is going to have the brown wire. So brown and yellow, as you notice, come through here. We're going to, well, we got several different options. Looks like I could run the wires through, but we're going to just run them underneath. We're going to run the studs right through the pre-drilled holes, right through the original stuff. Here's the bracket, and we'll go ahead and just do it like that. That's just literally how simple it is to mount these. The one thing which I have neglected to do so far is to go ahead and remove the new hardware that's going to attach this on. So why don't I go ahead and do that? I'm laying out all this hardware so I see exactly what I've got. Hopefully not losing none in the process. And what I've got is 2 lock washers and 2 of the nuts. So as we'll go ahead back to reassembly before I decided to drop everything. Simple and easy. We'll just take the, if you lose it, make sure you find it, because these lock washers definitely come in handy. Attach a lock washer, attach the nut. There you go, the taillight's being held on. We'll do the same as well as for the other side. Looks like I'm probably going to need, yeah, we're going to need something smaller for this side, but right now we'll just hand tighten it. let's go over to the other side and do that real quick as well. Alright, we're here on the passenger side. If you notice, like I've said before, I like to stress certain things just so nobody ever gets confused in my directions. The solid green and the green and brown wire comes to the passenger side of the vehicle, or I'm sorry, the trailer, or we'll call it passenger side, and that's when the trailer's hooked to your actual tow vehicle. That's how we're referring to this, because some people get directions somewhat confused backwards, especially when you're saying left side, right side. So I refer to it as driver and passenger side. Same as the other side, nothing much, pretty well complicated. We're going to take off the two simple little nuts. We're going to put them there. Remove the old part of a tail light. Simple, and then, like I said, and if you notice, there's no clear spot, so the tag always sits. Tag's always going to sit on the driver's side of this. It's even set top, even says curbside. It tells you literally, so this is fail proof. Straighten your wires out, put them through. We'll take a lock washer here, take the nut, tighten it up by hand. Like I said, we'll get the appropriate wrench. For right now, for video's sake, so we're not tying up too much time, there we go. Just get it done quick, simple, easy. I mean, this is like a literally 15-minute job. I've just drug it out a little hair longer. And what I like to do with the wire, I'm not sure if you can see clearly, there's a hole right here. What I do, since it's coming out of the front side of the trailer, wrap it back around and make my light connection back here. With a connection back here, I'll pull my extra back through, or we can run it up underneath. Just so that way I don't have nothing hanging. I'm not one that likes hanging wires. I don't mind a little bit back here, but this is better than having it droop up underneath for my sake. Yours might be different. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get these tightened up. We're going to go ahead and wire. I'm going to go ahead and wire this up too. I'll use the. Actually, I'm not going to use the wire nuts they provide. I think that is kind of cheesy. Wire nuts outside, I don't believe that you're going to mix. What I'm going to do is go ahead. I'll bust out a soldering gun, a little bit of solder, and some heat shrink. Pretty well easy. This is literally color coded. You got brown and green is going to go to your solid brown wire. Your straight green wire is going to go obviously to your green wire. I'll go ahead and get some strippers. We'll strip this back. These come pre-stripped. I don't like the little itty bitty things, so we're going to go ahead and strip them as well and make that connection. I'll throw some heat shrink on, so that way it gives you a tight waterproof connection. Corrosion is going to be your #1 failure with lights in the future, so just keep that in mind. I personally would not use little wire ties. Let me show y'all real quick for an example. This is pardon my French, this is shit. You don't provide these for outdoors. This is AC home inside electrical. That's what I believe they're for. I wouldn't even use that in conjunction with electrical tape. So let me get this tightened up, these connections. I'll go ahead and do the connections, tighten this up, and we'll finish wiring this in, putting the clips on and everything else. Alright guys, now that I've got my wiring completely stretched out, everything is set, so what we're down to is the way to keep these up here. And what you notice is here's an old one right here. What you do is this is a simple little, like, I don't know what kind of, but it's just some kind or other clip. Basically you're going to take it, push it onto, sometimes you got to fight with these, sometimes they go on pretty much easy, just depends. Push it just like that. Let's see if we can remove this old one. There we go. Take your wire and literally, I don't know if I'm trying to leave it where you can kind of see what I'm up to. Sometimes you got to lift it, pinch it, whatever. Don't kink it. And there it goes. That's literally it. The kit gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gives you 6, so we're going to do 3. One in the back. Do one right there towards the center and one right there in the front. That's the 3. And I'll come back 1, 2, and back here is going to be number 3. Let me get this done and we'll be wrapping up the wiring. Got one more wire to add in. Let's get another shot of that. We've got one more wire to add in to call this complete, and that's going to be the ground wire, and I'll show you how that's going to be done. Alright guys, sorry it's taking a little bit longer than I expected today. Literally it should take about 15 minutes. It's kind of why I've cut out YouTube videos for several months. I have too much to do and it was hard to video everything and get it done as well. So what we got left is, this is what you're going to have. You're going to have your wire. This is plugs right into the vehicle. So the whole wiring is technically done. Both tail lights are set. Everything is done. What we have here is a short white wire, which is your ground wire. Technically, all you got to do, pull some insulation off and find a way through a screw, bolt, something to attach this. I was kind of lucky. I like to have a little extra wire on my trailer. So what we got here is some kind of wiring that was left by the previous owner, but it is attached to ground. So what we're going to do, I apologize. Let me grab a tool. What I'm going to do, since I already have that wire and I do want to keep a little extra wiring on this, just a little extra length, simply cut it off. And what I'll do is just peel back some of this. Not the happiest. Let me trim it off a little bit more. When you trim your wire, if you don't find it pretty well shiny, it's not going to make a good connection. And being that this is the ground, if I plug these lights up right now to the vehicle and nothing happens, that's going to be why. So I'll just pull this off, pull a little insulation off that, come up here, bada bing, bada boom, we'll pull a little bit more off here, connect the two, a little bit of heat shrink, and I'm done. That's really all's really involved with wiring it up. Now the only thing I'll do, which I will do it off camera, is back my vehicle up, plug in my lights, make sure everything works. Everything works properly, I'm done. This is technically a road legal trailer. Not saying the tires of mine are definitely in good shape, but technically it is legal. I have tail lights, it rolls, everything's good to go. For a free trailer, I had $107 in 2 hubs and the wiring trailer light kit, plus $20 for fuel for a buddy of mine to help bring it over here on his flatbed trailer. So what we got, $127. I have a complete trailer that I'm able to haul stuff on for the house now. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this video, I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Go ahead and please look below. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you got a question, comment, anything constructive criticism, put it down in the comments. Please, no negativity. And as always, guys, thumbs up. If you enjoyed this, if you thought it was at all helpful, literally, this is so easy and basic. Thank you guys so much for watching.